They didn't expect it, yet there it was. A towering, human-shaped creature caught on camera with a clarity that sent shockwaves through scientific labs worldwide. Bigfoot, once a joke to skeptics, now filmed moving with muscle tension, weight, and awareness no AI could fabricate. Scientists who reviewed the footage reported one thing in common: silence. If something this massive has been walking beside us unnoticed, what else is hiding just outside the frame? Now the real footage begins. The contained giant. What startled viewers first was not the creature itself, but the number of officials surrounding the reinforced cage, as if they already knew the thing inside was beyond their control, caught on camera shifting slowly from one side to the other. Filmed through a handheld device with just enough shake to reveal tension, the towering figure moved with deliberate heaviness, its silhouette almost brushing the cage ceiling. Scientists who later scanned the footage noted the disproportionate limb structure, arms far too long, posture subtly hunched, reminiscent of early hominid reconstructions, yet unmistakably more massive. No one believed the quiet rumble the microphones picked up until the audio was cleaned, revealing a resonance too deep to be a bear and too rhythmic to be machinery. The officers outside stepped with caution, never turning their backs. And if this was the version of the creature subdued, what stood in the forest before it was contained? When the pines shifted. Maybe the strangest part wasn't the creature, but the way the entire tree line leaned aside, as if every pine recognized something older than the park itself moving through Granite Ridge that damp August evening. 3 steps and the forest seemed to inhale. 1 pause and even the fog held still. Its towering frame swayed with a rhythm almost human, heavy arms coated in wet fur that clung like river moss. The gait unsettlingly close to those prairie legends rangers whisper about when the radios cut out. Each swing of its shoulders suggesting a mind aware of being watched and unbothered by it. What truth forces a Bigfoot to walk openly, as if warning us the next footage will not be so patient? The night face recorded. No one believed the old campsite rumor until a pale face was caught on camera hovering beyond the tree line, filmed in a darkness so deep the world looked erased around it. The features were uncanny, too human in outline, too animal in texture, the brow heavy and the eyes reflecting light with the flat shine of river stones. Scientists scanned the footage and were shocked by the fluid micro-movements across its jaw, subtle enough to challenge the idea of a mask or staged act. The creature stood still for 5 long seconds, breathing in slow, weighted intervals as though studying the one who filmed it. Measuring intention the way a predator measures silence, its presence felt terrifying not from violence, but from comprehension. And if this is the distance it chooses to reveal, what waits at the distance it prefers? The silent back turn. The figure filmed in broad daylight was caught on camera with a clarity no one could dismiss, its massive back rising like a living barricade. The fur thickened along the spine as if reinforced by years of cold terrain. When it tilted its head, the dome shape revealed an unexpectedly compact neck, and the arms hung low with knuckles that nearly brushed the moss. Scientists scanned each frame and were shocked by how naturally those proportions matched the movement. The world had never seen a Bigfoot filmed with such terrifying composure, scanning the forest with a slow, practiced awareness that suggested territory more than curiosity. Each breath expanded its chest in a measured cadence, as though silence itself had shaped its evolution. And if this was not the creature fleeing, then what precisely was it allowing us to witness? The Ridge Walker. The creature caught on the ridge was filmed from a distance, yet its copper-toned fur was caught on camera with startling precision, glowing faintly against the tree line like a moving ember. No one believed a being that tall could move with such deceptive ease, each stride long enough to cover rocky ground without breaking rhythm. Scientists scanned the footage repeatedly, shocked by the mechanical efficiency. Limbs extending in arcs that matched no known primate, but resembled ancient depictions of forest titans across regional folklore. Its torso rolled with bear-like force, yet the upright posture revealed something older, something that had watched the world long before the person filming existed. When it paused, one arm lifted slightly as if tasting the air for intention, And if this is how it behaves while seen, how does it behave when completely unseen? Iowa shadows moving. No one believed the 2008 Iowa report until a hunched figure was caught on camera moving through a corridor of bent branches, filmed in the grainy gray of an early storm morning that made the world feel half erased. Its limbs swung low, the joints angled sharply like something unused to human terrain, and the torso leaned forward with a momentum that scientists later admitted looked too biomechanically smooth for any costume. The footage scanned frame by frame revealed a thick mat of dark fur rippling as it pushed through brush that should have slowed a bear, but barely resisted this shape. Its pace was terrifying not for speed, but for certainty, as if it already knew where the person filming would stand. When the creature vanished behind the cedar line, its silhouette folded into the trees with unnatural precision. And if that path was chosen deliberately, what direction would it choose next? The close-up breather. The close-up figure was caught on camera so unexpectedly that no one believed the footage was real until the breathing pattern was filmed clearly enough to shake the world of those who examined it. The creature's chest expanded under layers of matted black fur, each inhale slow and heavy like a bellows pumping through damp undergrowth, and scientists scanned the video in disbelief at the musculature shifting beneath the surface. Its head angled downward, half hidden behind a trunk. Yet the outline of its brow ridge and broad shoulders revealed a scale too large for any known primate in the region. What terrified viewers most was its stillness, predatory, patient, unmoving, except for that deep, deliberate breath. It wasn't fleeing the person filming, it was waiting, listening, measuring. And when a creature listens like that, what sound finally makes it move? Provo Canyon shape. In Provo Canyon, the dark shape caught on camera left no one certain of what they were seeing, yet the footage filmed through brittle autumn branches showed a hulking mass crouched with a posture that scientists later described as unnervingly efficient. The fur appeared dense and uneven, clinging to its back in heavy clumps that shifted as it repositioned, and the broad silhouette contrasted sharply against the thinning leaves, like a shadow too solid to belong in daylight. When the creature lifted its head, the outline of its jaw and the forward tilt of its torso suggested an animal adapted to both climbing and ambush, something built for vertical terrain. Viewers scanned the frames obsessively, searching for a human shape, but none matched the proportions. It blended into the canyon as if molded from it. And if this was only its crouched form, what height would it reach if it stood? The window stare. It began with a quiet complaint about a flicker in the glass. Nothing dramatic, nothing anyone expected to become evidence. Until the footage was lightened and suddenly a pair of eyes was caught on camera, filmed through a window that should have reflected only the room behind it. Instead, the world saw a tall silhouette pressed close enough for moisture to gather on the screen, its broad face partially obscured, yet steady in its focus. Scientists scanned the zoom frames and were shocked by the symmetry of the brow ridge and the faint movement beneath the fur-lined jaw. No one believed a creature could remain so silent at that proximity, its breathing barely shifting the mesh. The stare wasn't curiosity. It felt more like confirmation. And if this was the moment it allowed itself to be discovered, what moments existed when discovery wasn't part of its plan? The tent-side presence. The recording didn't start with fear, only confusion, as the campers whispered about a soft indentation forming on the tent wall right beside them, long before they realized the shape belonged to something caught on camera, filmed so close that the fabric stretched inward over the outline of a massive face. The world watched the blurred contours of a heavy brow and a muzzle-like structure shift as the creature exhaled, each breath pushing the material deeper. Scientists scanned the footage in disbelief, noting the deep-set eyes and the slow, deliberate lift of the jaw beneath. No one believed such stillness could come from a wild animal. Predators didn't observe this calmly. The tent trembled once, not from impact but from presence. And whatever it sought in that suspended moment, what decision was it weighing on the other side of the thin fabric? The backyard croucher. What drew attention wasn't the creature itself. It was the absence of sound in a yard normally filled with wind and insects, a silence that arrived moments before a crouched figure was caught on camera, filmed against the tree line like a misplaced piece of shadow. The shape leaned forward with long arms braced against the lawn, its back rising in a sloped arc beneath clumped, uneven fur that shifted as though alive on its own. Scientists scanned the footage repeatedly, shocked that the proportions matched no known quadruped or primate, the torso too deep and the shoulder span too broad. No one believed a creature that size could move without bending the grass, yet the blades barely dipped beneath it. Something held it there, listening, calculating, waiting for a cue unseen by the person filming. And when such a creature pauses mid-approach, what signal finally tells it to continue? The forest veil shape. It didn't appear with motion or sound, only a distortion, as if the trees were folding around something they couldn't quite hide, until a tall figure was caught on camera, lingering behind the evergreen curtain. Filmed in a hush so complete it muted even the wind, the creature's outline seemed stitched from the shadows themselves, its long arms drooping with a weight that suggested both strength and age. Scientists scanned the footage and noted the unsettling geometry of its torso, broad at the top, narrowing sharply as if built for slipping between trunks. No one believed a creature so large could blend so perfectly into daylight. What startled viewers most was how the figure repositioned without disturbing a single branch, a silent glide that felt almost intentional. And if the forest moved for it once, what else moves aside when it passes? The ridge climber presence. The moment began not with fear but disbelief. A hiker claiming something massive was scaling the ridge beside them, until the shape was filmed clearly, arms outstretched as if pulling itself upward with an ease no human possessed. The creature's chest expanded beneath uneven fur, and each movement carried a deliberate rhythm, like a climber who had mastered terrain untouched by boots. Scientists scanned the footage frame by frame and were shocked by the reach of its limbs, far exceeding human proportion. No one believed an animal that heavy could perch among thin branches without snapping them. The true jolt came when it paused mid-climb, turning its upper body in a slow, fluid arc that suggested awareness rather than instinct. And if it can move across ridges like scaffold beams, what vantage points has it already learned to claim? The autumn stalker. Leaves shifting in late-season winds seemed normal, until two shapes drifted through the trees with a gait too upright to mistake. One of them caught on camera, striding with long, pendulum-like arms, swinging low. Filmed under amber light filtering through thinning canopies, the creature's fur held a mottled, almost bark-like texture that made it difficult to track unless it moved. Scientists scanned the footage and were struck by the synchronized rise and fall of its shoulders, a motion resembling practiced stealth rather than wandering. No one believed the forest held more than one of these beings, yet the second shadow trailing behind confirmed otherwise, sending a ripple of disbelief through the world of researchers. The creature didn't hurry, it simply proceeded, as if accustomed to not being challenged. And if this was only a passing glimpse, what does their full presence look like when they aren't avoiding the camera? The burdened wanderer. What drew attention first wasn't the creature itself, but the strange sway of something clinging to its back, visible only when the figure was caught on camera, weaving through dense undergrowth, filmed in damp morning light that made every movement shimmer with weight. The tall, fur-draped body leaned forward as if protecting the smaller shape attached between its shoulders, a curled bundle shifting in tiny, unsettling motions. Scientists scanned the footage and were startled by the layered texture of the fur, thick, matted, and parted in a way suggesting two distinct forms moving as one. No one believed such maternal behavior existed in rumored species, yet the gait showed unmistakable caution. What unsettled viewers most was how the larger figure adjusted branches with surprising gentleness, clearing a path without breaking pace. And if this was how it moved while carrying another, what strength does it conceal when unburdened? The twin-eyed watcher. Some sightings begin with footsteps or snapping branches. This one began with two silent, hovering points of light, caught on camera during a routine scan of a backyard fence line, filmed in a grayscale haze where shapes melt into each other. The eyes didn't blink. Instead, they tracked the camera's motion with a smoothness that unsettled even seasoned analysts. Scientists scanned the enhanced frames and noted the faint outline of a long snout and sloped forehead, proportions neither fully canine nor humanoid. No one believed such symmetry could exist outside of legend. Yet the creature's stillness hinted at an intelligence older than the forest behind it. The light from its gaze pulsed faintly, as though reflecting something deeper inside the frame. And if those eyes belong to a creature merely observing, what form emerges when it decides to step forward? The nest-side shadow. It's strange how a camera meant for eagles captured something walking beneath their nest. Caught on camera as a dark silhouette drifting between broken branches, filmed from high above where perspective turns a normal objects foreign. The figure's outline, narrow at the waist, heavy at the shoulders, moved with an unhurried rhythm that contradicted the rough terrain below. Scientists scanned the stabilized footage and were struck by the long arc of the arms and the sway of dense fur across the torso, characteristics aligning more with folklore than wildlife logs. No one believed a Bigfoot could appear in such an exposed clearing, yet the creature walked as though the open space belonged to it. What lingers in viewers' minds is how it never once looked up toward the camera perched above the nest. And if it ignored the eagle cam entirely, what unseen vantage point was it paying attention to instead? Now let's explore a mystical creature as unsettling as Bigfoot, the mermaid. The frozen enigma. The creature drew attention not because it moved, but because it didn't. Its massive fur-covered body lying in the snow as investigators gathered around, caught on camera like evidence from a story no one believed could cross into reality. Filmed under harsh polar light, the limbs appeared strangely jointed, bent in angles suggesting an anatomy not built for human environments. Scientists who scanned the footage noted the density of the fur, thicker than any known Arctic mammal, layered in patterns resembling insulation for extreme depths rather than cold air. No one believed the creature's torso could expand subtly beneath the stillness, until enhanced frames revealed faint muscle contractions, as though something inside was deciding whether to wake. The yellow caution tape trembled slightly in the wind, framing the body like a warning rather than a perimeter. And if this was only its dormant state, what form would its awareness take once warmth returned? The night hunt witness. The trail cam captured the scene with unsettling clarity, a tall, muscular figure walking upright through the forest at 2:13 a.m., caught on camera just as a deer lifted unnaturally off the ground behind it, filmed in the stark infrared light. The creature's posture revealed wide shoulders tapering into long arms, its gait steady, deliberate, as though accustomed to patrolling territory rather than fleeing danger. Scientists who scanned the footage noticed the synchronized movement. Its steps matched the deer's silent rise, suggesting a force or grip the camera barely registered. No one believed a creature could lift such weight without sound until the audio strip revealed nothing but wind. The figure did not turn, did not hesitate, simply moved deeper into the trees with predatory calm. And if this was only one of its nightly routines, what else walks through the forest beyond the reach of every lens? The pathway colossus. The footage began with the unnerving realization that the figure ahead wasn't another hiker, but something far larger. Caught on camera walking down a narrow jungle road with an effortless, swaying stride that suggested the terrain belonged to it, not to the people trailing behind. Filmed through a dashboard lens trembling with disbelief, the creature's massive frame absorbed the light, its fur shimmering with the muted tones of the canopy above. Scientists who later scanned the footage noted the shoulder width, far exceeding known primate proportions, and a gait indicating immense weight distributed with surprising precision. No one believed the rhythmic sway of its arms had purpose until the enhanced frames revealed it, clearing branches without breaking speed. The jungle seemed to part for it as though practiced. And if this was how it moved when unbothered, what pace would it reach when it decided to disappear? The smiling night stalker. The trail camera activated just in time to capture something impossible. A towering figure standing inches behind a deer, caught on camera with an expression that resembled a smile. Wide, unnatural, filmed in stark infrared that erased all warmth from the scene. The creature's face, smooth around the eyes and sharply contoured at the jaw, contrasted disturbingly with the coarse fur covering the rest of its body. Scientists scanning the footage were unsettled by the posture. Upright, balanced, with arms hanging in a relaxed but predatory readiness. No one believed the deer's complete lack of reaction until slow-motion frames revealed a subtle tension along its legs, as though frozen by something more instinctive than fear. The figure's stillness became its most terrifying feature, radiating a quiet confidence. And if this smile marked recognition rather than threat, what did it believe was sharing the forest with it? As these fragments of forbidden footage accumulate, one truth becomes harder to ignore. The world is far stranger, far deeper, far more alive than we were ever taught to imagine. Every shadow caught on camera, every creature filmed in panic or silence, widens the gap between what we believe and what is truly out there beneath the waves and beyond the tree line. And if this is only what slips through by accident, what evidence waits unseen? Stay with us as we keep searching, keep questioning, and keep exposing the unexplainable. Subscribe now and step further into the unknown.